And it started. So it's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in Spain, would you believe? And the temperature is
And
still about
gentlemen, may I have your
I'm not.
attention,
Hang on, I've got to
please?
talk to it.
The show
Look, crowd walks
starts
in.
in
Some people.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you. So it's 10 o'clock here in sunny Spain. Well, just gone now because we've come straight into just gone 10 o'clock in the evening. Anyway, up for grabs tonight. We've got UPSTICKS magnet, but the main one is, look at that, it's massive. The Expat magnet Sunday, no, the Expat and Mazaron subscriber magnet, which will be up for grabs at our past. And we got 34 of you today. Now, I've had a couple of people contact me today saying, Sean, you missed me off. No, I've checked through it all. Either you come in after the video, my 5 minutes live, and you put it onto the comments below the video, which is no good because you've got to be a subscriber first. And I know that obviously some people are not getting their notification straight away. Some of them getting it after I've finished it, like 10 minutes after. I can't do anything about that, guys, but 34 of you managed to get there. And also, if Vodka Dave's there, you said free sticker Sunday when it should have been free magnet Sunday. I had to be tough, see, because you know what? These cost me a fortune. They're not free, you know. They cost me a fortune. Now, somebody won this the other week. I'm still not sure because I can't remember who won it now. Did they get both magnets in the post to the UK? Because somebody did say to me, Sean, is there a problem when you send this in the post? Does it get stuck to the letterbox or something? I don't know. So it'd be great to know who won the first batch of these. Did you get them? Anyway, just before we get into the questions, I've got quite a few tonight, I must say. I think we've got good hours of this. If you want a Expat and Mazaron subscriber t-shirt, there will be a link below this video in the description. You want to check it out? Because I've had quite a few people over the years saying, Sean, are you still doing the t-shirts? And I stopped it for quite a while. And then I've just started up again. So if you want to have a look, 2 people have already bought them. And I've got to thank Kate. Very nice, Kate. Look very nice in that t-shirt. And also Yogi, my star model. I don't even know who's looking at me at the moment because I haven't gone into the comments. So I'm going to go into the comments now and let's have a quick look. Right, so Colin's in the house. Ian, Colin again, Simon, Andrew, Deb, Brit Mod Scott's in the house. Now, I think you won it the other week, didn't you? Thinking about it, I think you won it last week. And don't forget, next Sunday it's going to be the free sticker that I ain't got on me at the moment. Philip's in the house. Did I get let off? No, you didn't, Philip. Sorry. Got to have tough rules in this place. You didn't do it right. You got to be on the live 5 minutes, Phil. But anyway, never mind. As they say, better luck next week. Des is in the house. Jim, Yogi, hey, top man. And Yogi again, he's a top man. He's always buying me a cup of coffee and a sticky bun. That's very nice of you, Yogi. And yes, the DJI Mini 5 Pro. Will it come out next week? Now, I'll put up a post this week on my drone channels, and it sounds like now they might delay it. It was on the 7th, which is next Thursday. I hope it is going to be first. I don't want to wait another month. But anyway, now people are saying, they might delay it now. So, Yogi, don't rush down to the DJI store in London and buy it before me. All right, Glenn, Yogi again, Colin, Thomas, Colin again. You know what? I'm useless at reading. I think that's Brian. Might be wrong. Philip's in the game, but I was on the live. No, you wasn't. You was. You might have been on the live 5 minutes. Maybe what it was, Phil. Still got to be tough rules. Maybe you was on the live 5 minutes, but you put it into the comments of the video and not next into the chat. That's what they call it. Got to be tough. See, Donna, Yogi again. Put your glasses on, Sean. They are on. Thank you very much. So, and Colin again. Does Bonnie see a vet on Campusol? So yeah, first question of the evening from Colin. Does Bonnie see a vet? Yes. Yes, she does. Yeah, she does see the vet. She's funny enough. I think she's seen the vet more times than I've gone to see the doctors there. And yes, they do speak English. They're really good, really. Now, funny enough, that is a question tonight that I'll be talking about anyway on vets. But they are very good. Yeah, Bonnie goes there. Obviously, she has like an MOT checkup once a year. One of them is because she has to have a rabies jab. And then there's a few other things, to do with creepy crawlies that she can pick up. And obviously treating not nits, those, oh, God, I forget what you call them now. Those things that bite you sometimes. Anyway, yeah, she goes to the vets more than me. And I'll be honest, now she knows where the vets is. As soon as she knows she's coming near the vet's door, she puts her 4 feet down and I have to drag her in. But thankfully, because Bonnie's a little dog, I can pick her up. She ain't got no options. She's going to go in that vet's, whatever. But yeah, ever so good. Usually they're ladies. Ever so nice. And the main thing, guys, they don't cost you a fortune. It don't cost you a fortune here. I can't say for other parts of Spain, but here, sometimes I go in there just to have a checkup and they don't charge me at all. Good. The vets that I used to have in Child Oakford, and it was like going to the Reds. You had to book an appointment. I think the charge was 25 quid. That was just like an appointment charge. But here, you don't have to worry about that. So, anyway, flea, acid, dog nits. Hi, Sean. Have you had your MOT yet? No. I'll be honest, Yogi, I don't like the doctors. I'm not one of those people that likes going out. Obviously, when you get to an old person, you have to do certain things, admittedly. But I'm not one of those who will go there, maybe once a year for blood and things like that. Maybe I should. Katie's in the house. Well done. Stave's in. And now, okay, so it's already nearly 10 past. So let's get on with the first question. And that is, funny enough, who the person I was just speaking to a minute ago was from Yogi. So Yogi is saying, if you're a non-resident in Spain with a holiday home, are you still able to buy a car? If so, what is the process and what kind of ID would you need to present? So, if you're a non-resident and you're on that 90-day thing and you bought your holiday home, which you can do, no problems with that. Don't listen to all that waffle at the moment that's on the news about 100%. That's still chitter-chatter in the government. Probably never happen. Right. Yes, I've done what I've done. What I tend to do now, because I don't think I'm an old bloke, I don't know everything. So I went on the internet and I get most of my information from the internet. Now, most of it is pretty good. Anyway, yes, non-residents in Spain with a holiday home can buy a car. And I know quite a few people have done that. They even bought an old banger, and what they do, it costs them much. They leave it at the airport, one of those outside parking places. I think some people say they pay about €200. Some people might even do it less. And what tends to happen while it's in the parking lot, depending on how many times they come over here, which obviously they can't come over that much, the car will be taken to the ITV centre. The car will be checked over while it's waiting there. So when they come over, they can go straight out the airport. Sometimes they'll get the car and meet you at the entrance, which I think is pretty good service, isn't it? So yeah, you can. And obviously the main things that you need, as always, is an NIE, proving your Spanish address, and you present your foreign ID, which means your passport, and that's all you need, guys. So yeah, to be honest, it's no different to a full-time resident person when you're buying a car. And now some places will say, "Have you got a padron?" Now we didn't go for that process. I think depending on which dealer you go to, if they want your money off you, they're sort of you know, obviously want to see your NIE, or especially now if you're a full-time resident, your TIE card, take that number, and also your passport. But other than that, no different, Yokes. So yeah. So if you want to come over here like you do normally, maybe you could buy a car, Yogi, and you could give it to Jan. She'll like that. She'll love you for that, Yogi. Right. So I've got another question now from Yogi. And Yogi says, besides your house and your car, what is the largest single purchase you have made in Spain? Okay, now I had to think about that one. And I'm not going to say the drone that I bought quite recently that cost. Jan's not watching this. No, she might be watching this. No, I didn't. Right, so I'm not even going to mention that. But the most we've spent on what I class as a single purchase is getting what I'm sat in now, the underbuild. Because when we first come here, this was just a shout. This was just like bare concrete walls with some pillars, really dusty. And now, I mean, we spent a fortune in there. I mean, I would imagine we're probably talking about altogether now, with all the work that we've had done there, we're probably talking about 10 grand, really, because, we've had all these rooms made, we had the ceiling brought down. Jan's got a mezzanine in there, so she's got like a workshop come sewing room, and then we got 2 bedrooms. Hang on, a jalopy. I've just seen that. Yeah. We got 2 bedrooms. We got a full kitchen in there now. We've got a lovely a lounge area, I should say. Yeah, and that's where most of our money has gone into the property, is this underbuild. And to be honest, it's still hot in there. But I managed to persuade Jan now. I'm going to get an aircon machine put in this room, because there's not. I class this as a double-sized bedroom, really. I'm going to put an aircon machine in there. I got the wordy thing up there. I got one of those remote control ones, and then in the other room we're going to have a big aircon in there, because even though we're in an underbuild, we've got 3 walls that are not underground. Because we're on a slope. So one wall is actually buried in the ground, but the other 3 sort of so the sun gets on it. So this is why it still gets hot in there. So yeah, underbuild, Yogi. Drones second. Jan, if you're watching this, I don't think she is. I think she's watching some foreign film at the moment. So I'll just give her a wave, but I don't think she's watching this. So anyway, let's go back to any questions here. So you want another jalopy? Yes, I do. So I can smash that one up. I got Dunk from Granada. Hey, top man, just down the road, really, isn't it? It's about 2.5 hour drive, if that. 2 hours, I think. Right, Jan spent 3,000. Thankfully, maybe she can. No, she might be watching this. Anyway, if she's watching us on the telly, she won't be able to see that, Yogi. Thankfully. What a shame, eh? Dunk. How many USB fans have you got, Sean? We use them clipped onto the bedroom at night. I'll be honest, we haven't got any. I used to have, funny enough, obviously you can't see it, where the screen is. I used to have a USB fan now. I didn't find them that good. Now I've got a big one here, but if I had it on now, all the tonight's people that's done the free magnet Sunday would all blow out the air, and everything else would blow out sideways. I mean, the one up there is pretty good. And to be honest, we still got an aircon. I've still had the aircon on for, I don't know, about half an hour just to cool the room down. We find it's enough. But yeah, well, that's true. Low on electricity. Yeah, I mean, I'm draining. Our bill's going to be in any day now because we've had visitors, and with the visitors who come from the UK, oh, it's so hot here. So we've had the aircon on most of the day for them to keep them cool. So, so I can imagine with the whirly things going on all day and the aircon on, I just hate to think what it would be. But I'm sure it won't be nothing like my bill that I had a couple of years ago when we had that stupid gas tax put onto it. But anyway, I think, is Jan a fictional person? I've never seen her. Funny you should say that, Deb. Now I've got another channel which me and Jan sort of star in it a bit, and that's called Retiring to Spain. Check it out. But I'll be honest, she's not a great lover stuck in front of the camera. And I said to her that we'll make this channel about a couple of old people living in Spain. It's doing all right. It's doing all right. But yeah, trying to get hold of her and stick her in the camera is a hard job. But she is around. Check out that channel, and you can prove that she's alive. I ain't got her stuffed anywhere. Right, Steve, where's the safest place to park a car for all day on Campus A? What's that supposed to mean, Steve? Park. I mean, we got two cars. We park them out in the road, right opposite the shops. Nobody's touched them yet. I know, obviously, cars do get pinched, don't they? I mean, to be honest, there's a big car park in there opposite the fish and chip shop, but most people park their cars in the road. I mean, I got so fed up with. We haven't got one of those electric gates. I'm sure once we get the electric gates, I'll be parking my car off road. Don't want about Jan's because Jan's is an old banger, but mine, I wouldn't like mine to get marked or anything like that. But at the moment, I'll just leave it in the road. And to be honest, Steve, you're quite safe leaving it in the road. But if you got a hire car, what I will say, guys, because we was having a chat today because we had Sunday dinner today up at the golf club, and we was having a chat, and somebody was saying some friends had come over on a weekend tour, and they went up to the Cartagena Guns, which I've done a few videos on. But they went up there really early in the morning, and they parked up their car. Obviously, they've just come off the airport, so they had all their stuff in the car. They went down to have a look at the guns. When they come back, somebody had broke into their car. Now, that's a bit unusual, I must say. But what we did say, I bet they had the freaking sticker on the back of the car that tells everybody that it's a hire car. And that doesn't take some scrupulous git from saying, oh, it's a hire car. Because lucky for them, whoever did break into the car threw their passports just down the road a bit. So obviously they broke in, nicked the bags, and took whatever other stuff. So guys, if you're coming over on holiday and you got a sticker on the back of your car, like most hire companies do, just rip it off. Okay, so some of them might say you've got to pay for it, but I'll tell you what, it's better than your car broken into. So there you are, Steve. Don't have a car parked up with your sticker on it. Right. I like my old banger, says Susan. I mean, Jan loves that car. It's 20 years old. It's still going? That's the main thing. I bought some tyres the other year. We always take the stickers off the. So well done, Donna. See, you've learnt the lesson. So where are we now? We got 37 in the house, which is, don't forget, guys, because I can't see how many likes I got tonight, because on this software that I use, I can't see that sort of stuff. It doesn't give me that information. And I also know that when you make comments, you can put up funny little faces. I can't see that as well. So, but anyway, don't forget the likes. Apparently, that's what YouTube loves now. You've got to have the likes. I don't think it makes any difference to myself. Okay, so we done Yogi's thing about the biggest amount of money I spent. other than the drone. So, Glenn, this is a question from Glenn. This is a good one. I suppose in some sense it's pretty logical, but I think a lot of people don't really think about it. And that is, Glenn is saying, do pensioners get free healthcare from the UK who live in Spain? So, what do you think? Do you think you get free healthcare if you live in Spain from the UK? So, simple question is, yes, you do. You get UK pensioners who are residents in Spain are eligible for state healthcare funding from the UK by applying for an S1 form, which allows access to the Spanish public health system on the same basis as Spanish citizens. Now, one good thing about Spain, now some countries, I believe even Germany, in Germany, you have to top up your healthcare because my brother lives there, and that's what he's told me. So just because you live in Europe, don't think that your healthcare is fully covered. But here in Spain, apparently, because I know because I had my hip done. I think my hip would have cost me $3,000, but I went. And the best thing about it was I was obviously on the Spanish health system. I mean, to me, it's like a national health funding thing, isn't it? Because I paid all the years into my tax in the UK. The national health pays Spain so much a year to the Spanish health system, so they get a good bargain out of it. But when I had my hip done, now I'll just tell you about that bit first, and I'll get on to something else. When I had my hip done, it took 6 months. Fantastic service, I must say. I went into a private hospital, so I had my own room. I didn't like the operation, bit of a spook, but it went fine. Fantastic. I must say, I had a couple of days in hospital. Food was horrible. I'm not going to say it was fantastic, but I had great aftercare as well. Yeah, fantastic. And I didn't have to pay a penny other than obviously getting lifts to and through to the hospital, which was in Cartagena, which is about just less than an hour. But what I will say, another thing, guys, if you're thinking about moving to Spain, it's worth checking out the healthcare system, because in some places, now I'm going to go up. I don't know if Chris and Lillian are watching me tonight. If you are top people, got to be seeing you in a week. Where they are now, they come under the Valencia region, and she was told get it done privately because it's going to be quicker. It's a long waiting list, so that's another thing to think about in the different regions in Spain. Now, don't ask me which is the best because I don't know that. But that's something worth checking out with, especially when you're going to see the state agent. I mean, he might just don't know, but you do need to find out what the healthcare system's like where you're moving to, because obviously, as old people, we do get problems with us, and it's best to find. You don't want to be hanging around for yonks, do you? Now, my brother, I don't know how he's doing it. My brother lives in Germany, and he flies back to the UK, which must be expensive. To get his teeth done, because obviously here in Spain, that's one thing you're not covered for, guys. You're covered for your health care, but not your dental care. Bit like the UK, really, isn't it? You have to go private in the UK now, most of us. But he flies back to the UK. He gets his teeth done that way, and also, but he did. I'm sure he told me he goes back to the UK to see his doctor still. Because, like I said, he has to pay extra in Germany. So, there you are, Glenn. Oh, yeah. I thought also, because if you're interested, Glenn, because I know you are interested in coming to Spain, here how it works, it says, obtain an S1 form. UK state pensioners must apply for an S1 form from the NHS Overseas Health Care Service. So, remember that. National Health Overseas Healthcare Service to get your S1. And to be honest, it's pretty easy. If I can do it, you lot can do it. It's not that hard. Right, and you register in Spain. So obviously, once you move to Spain, that's another thing you got to do is go down to the healthcare place. Now we got one in Mazarin Town. You go in there, and you have to book an appointment to see somebody to get your Spanish, your healthcare card. Now, when I first got here, they give me this healthcare card, like your blooming driving license, and after a couple of years, you have to keep renewing it. So you go down to I'll go down to the place in Mazaron town. I'll go up to this little room upstairs. I see a bloke. He can't speak no English, which is fine. And he asks for your name, obviously, and your address and your telephone number. And that's all it is. And I said, okay, so I've done all that. I'll give him my card. He said, it'd be in the post. I ain't got one. But don't worry, because your TIE card, when you become a resident, if you go down to the hospital or the A&E department, you just show them your TIE card because your number's on there. You're on the system. Now, so that's one thing about Spain you're going to find. It just takes yonks here to get things sorted. Right, anyway, going back to register in Spain. Once you have your S1 form, you need to register it with the Spanish Social Security authorities, which I'll just mention, the place down in the town of Mazaron. Access public health care. After registering, you will receive a Spanish medical card, which gives you access to primary and hospital care through the Spanish public system, with UK funding the costs. So you're going to find some of the hospitals, when you go in there to say you got to have an appointment, even though you booked an appointment, you go in there, there'll be a little machine, you stick your medical card in it, and then it gives you a ticket, and you go up to the waiting room, number 54, seeing that out now. They're pretty quick. But obviously, if you ain't got a medical card, then you'll get a form like this, which will have a barcode on it, and they are quite advanced in Spain. Which you put that up against the machine, and you still get. So you ain't got to worry about the healthcare card, but you're supposed to have one officially. Okay, consider a private health insurance with it. Well, I know a lot of people that's got private health insurance still, even though they got the Spanish health system. Because sometimes with the private health insurance, you do get dental care. I think you get like a couple of appointments, but it's usually just for a filling or something. After that, you have to pay a bit of money, and from what I hear, it's still far cheaper than the UK. And for those not receiving a UK state pension, for early retirers or others who do not receive a UK state pension, but a resident of Spain, access to the Spanish public health system may be through a private insurance policy or the. Oh God, I'm not about to say this one. Anyway, why it says that. Now, a lot of people come over in their 50s. Now, once you're in Spain for over 6 months, you can apply for a Spanish healthcare system thing. I can't even pronounce that. Anyway, and you pay a monthly fee. I think below 65, it's something like, I don't know. God, am I going to drop myself in it? And I think it's like, I don't know, because I never paid it. But it's not a lot of money. All I know is once you're 65 and over, it's virtually double. So make sure you got a state pension. That's what I say. So anyway, I've probably missed a load of thingies there because I'm just right. So what time is it? God, it's nearly half past already. Can't believe it. Susan's saying Jan is lovely. Yeah, she is. She's lovely. Aren't you, my love? I know she's not watching, so I'm all right. All right. Right. So I got back to Dunk. I've got Deb. Right. Steve. Yeah, we've gone that. Thomas. August is full on air conditioned month. Yes. I'll be honest. I mean, some people say, we don't use aircon. But to me, I just want to have life easy. And I don't want to be sweating or feeling too hot. So yeah, I have the aircon on. But I know some people don't. They find that the fan's fine. I mean, to be honest, I'm hot. I'm not sweaty hot, but I think if I had an aircon machine on now, That would be just lush. But hey, you can't have everything at the moment. Jan is lovely. Thankfully, normal UK weather. I mean, Jan was on about, oh, let's go back to Wales. You know, only for the summer. I was thinking, no, I don't want to go back to Wales. I don't come from Wales. I mean, she loves Wales for some reason, but no. Sorry for the Welsh people, but to me, I'd rather be here in the heat. I will park on the road outside yours. Oh, that's a good idea, Steve. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. I like my old banger, says Sue. Well done. Donna, we always take the stickers off. Oh, yeah, hang on. I read all that. Right, 27 likes, says Susan. That was 11 minutes ago. 26 so far. 27 yolks. 33. Oh, it's gone up then. Right, 37 says Des. Oh, that's good. Well done, everybody. I've got 45 in the house. Right, Duncan said, hi, Sean, don't you think it's easy to come to Spain and live? Don't you think it's easy to come to Spain and live if you just get a good solicitor, then you just ask them to sort out everything? You might have to pay them an annual fee. I don't know about what's that about. I mean, obviously, the problem is when we moved to Spain back in 2015-16, we didn't have all this palaver with visas. So we come here, you had to have so much, obviously. I think it was, I don't know, 4 times whatever, which was pretty easy. And obviously now they made it more, I think they made it more difficult. For people that wants to move to Spain now, if you got an Irish granny or something, yeah, that's pretty easy. You just get the passport and you're in. But if you got to go for the non-lucrative visa, and I know lots of people have, I've got lots of my friends that are still on that process at the moment. Fantastic, but it makes things so much more complicated. Now you got all that money stashed away that you can't touch for 5 years. I mean, I never once we moved there to Spain. Obviously, you need a solicitor, especially when you're buying property here in Spain, because there's a lot of unscrupulous people out there. So you need a good solicitor. He can deal with all that stuff. But once you bought the property, you don't need a solicitor anymore. What you do need is a good accountant. Forget about the solicitor. You need a good accountant to sort out the taxes, because that's another thing that you can look forward to in life. Even though you're a retired old person, you still have to pay taxes, unfortunately. But yeah, get rid of the solicitor and you get yourself a good accountant once you become what I class as a state pensioner, and you're getting all that money coming in and they want to grab a bit off it. So get a good accountant. Right, so I've got Yabbis in now. Well done. Okay, now hang on. Have I missed something there? Good question, says Yogi, about Dunk then. Right, Sean, do you know of any good solicitors on Campusol region? No, I don't. Unfortunately, the solicitors that I used to use, they've gone down in the port. I don't want to say, oh yeah, so and so is really good, because I don't want to commit myself to, because I don't use solicitors. I don't know any solicitors personally, and I wouldn't like to say that's something you guys have to sort out yourself. Hi, Sean. Right, so Yogi, when you come over in October, we'll have a look for a good solicitor. For a mild evening in Bournemouth. Oh, that's good to know. What we talking? 19, maybe. 43 now. Hey, that's good, because I've got 43 watching. Any queries? Just thought for you. Well, I mean, yeah, very, very true. But I think once you're here living, you don't really need a solicitor anymore. I mean, obviously, you're going to get bills coming in still. I mean, we've got plenty of people on campus that obviously can deal with any problems. Like you want to renew your driving license. To be honest, you can do it yourselves. I think that's another thing. There's lots of things that you can just do yourself. Go to the hospital, to Cartagena, and not try and use a translator. Try and use a bit of the old Spanish, and if not, you got your Google Translate, or even take something printed out on there that they can have a look at. Most of the doctors, to be honest, well, I think nearly all the doctors in Spain can speak English, but they won't because of was it if something goes wrong because they obviously said it wrong, so that's why it's better that you speak Spanish. So Deb's saying, "Hi Sean, did you settle on campus out quickly, or did you spend a while looking around for the right spot in Spain? Let me know if you want to add a bit more personality or context to it." I mean, I suppose on that question, Deb, I was looking around for quite a while because obviously my folks lived down in Malaga back in the late 70s, come 80s. And I used to come down with the kids, sort of late 80s, 90s. And just seeing my dad enjoying life, he'd go out for walks. I mean, he'd go out for frigging hours sometimes. He'd go off at 6 o'clock in the evening and he wouldn't come back about 10 o'clock. But he's not, I know he ain't gone down the pub because he's in the middle of nowhere. He just liked going off walking. And he was so relaxed. And I thought, because I was working quite hard, believe it or not, in those days. And I just thought, wow, when I retire, I want to do something like that. I want to just take it easy, enjoy life. So yeah, it did take me a while. I mean, obviously we obviously was looking around the Malaga area, and I suppose back in 2000, 2000, the millennium time. No, 2010 maybe. Yeah, 2010. We were looking a bit more seriously, but the price of properties then was so expensive. We was looking at mobile homes down in Malaga way, and we found a couple of places. But my dad was pretty good to me. He kept on saying, "Sean, don't you buy one of those places out in the middle of nowhere. What happens when you fall over or you become ill? Where's the nearest hospital? Where's the doctors?" Which, to be honest, things I didn't even think about. Me and Jan had this lovely idea of buying a little finca in the middle of nowhere, bit of land, loads of almond trees, grow our own stuff. Fantastic. God, I'm glad I never went down that road, because I'll tell you what, the weather here is fantastic, but this time of year, you don't want to be out there digging weeds up and picking almonds off trees. It's not an easy life. I mean, I don't really know many people that live out in the country now, to be honest. I see a lot of people that want to do it, but I try to explain it's all right when you're young. What do you class by young? I think if you're in your 50s, that's still young, and you can go out and live out in the country. But I know a lot of people don't. After a while, they find it's very isolated, and it does get to you. And I think that's where the community will come in to you when you get older, we rely on. So, yeah, I mean, you do need to have a good look round. I mean, if you watched any of my past videos, we hired out a camper van and we went down the whole east coast, right down to Malaga, and we ended up in Mazaron. And to be honest, we parked in a campsite in Mazaron. I took Bonnie out onto the beach. I hadn't looked at this place. I just fell in love with the area. And I think that's the main thing. It's the locations. It's going to be your most important thing, guys. I just saw the sun coming up, doggy on the beach. It was lovely, the seagulls. And I said, yeah, I want to live here. And then we went through the process of starting to look for a house. And here I am, 10 years later. It took us 6 years to become legit. I mean, I'll be on the other side of that. When we first moved there, when we saw our solicitor, and don't forget this is all before Brexit, we said to him, what's best then, being a non-resident or a resident? And he said, to be honest, does it make no difference? And I know a few people are still not a proper resident, but obviously complications come on later on, especially if your health goes wrong. Yeah, we didn't do it straight away. We did the car, but we couldn't do the car. Funny enough, so we were all driving around unofficially, I suppose. Yeah, because with the car, you have to get the Spanish driving license. You have to be a resident. So that's the first problem. So once we become a resident, we then exchange our UK license for a Spanish one. Now, this is all before the Brexit rubbish. But obviously, that's different now. Once you live here in Spain, 6 months, you've got to exchange your Spanish driving license. And to be honest, guys, it's pretty easy. It's nothing difficult. You ain't got to worry about taking a test or anything like that. And to be honest, it's a load of holics, really. Going, I think I just renewed my driving license. I went down to the place down in the town. I think I paid him €45. Thank you very much. Cash. They take cash. They don't take the card. They take cash, and that's a government building. I went downstairs. We did a quick eye test, and that was covering me. It must have been as far as this screen is. And then I went in the other room, and you're supposed to do one of these awareness things with the old funny games master thing. Wasn't working. So he just looked at me, got any medical problems? No, I'm all fine. That was it. Thank you very much. I think 10 minutes. They didn't speak English, but we still got by. So anyway, I just noticed the time now. It's only 22, guys, and I've got 36 in the house, so you're still hanging on, you lot. Well done. So I'm going to do, in Lucky Yogi's hat, it's 34 of you in there. Just to prove it, they're all in there. It's not fake. Des, you could get it this time. I don't know. Be a bit spooky if you did get it, wouldn't it? So up for grabs is 2 magnets. One, obviously, the best one, which is the Expat and Mazaron subscribers magnet. And not forgetting Chris, if he's watching. I think he does. I think what Chris watches anyway. So I'm going to somehow do this with the music thing. Go over to... So, will you make... I've got one. So I put that down. So I don't want to look at it. I always let you lot look at it first, just to prove. So somebody there, I can't believe that. Yogi, right. He's only won one the other week. So I'm going to do another one because Yogi's got one, I think. You got a magnet, Yogi? No, you haven't, have you? Oh, well, okay. So anyway, I'm going to do another one, guys, because I don't think that's right. This has happened before, you Yogi. So I'm going to do another one. Okay. Right. Okay. I got one. Yes. Okay. Who's it this time? It can't be another Yogi because I ain't got one Yogi in there. Right. Does that say Bengal Bert? Bengal Bert, are you on tonight? So Bengal, oh God, my throat's going now. Bengal Bert, you won the free magnet and lucky bonus, you got the UPSTICKS one as well. So Bengal Bert, I'm not too sure if you won a sticker before, but anyway, if you haven't, Bengal Bert, as always, you know what I need. I know you're not called Bengal Bert, but Bengal Bert, I need your real name and your address, and the best way of contacting me is on my Instagram account, which is Expat and Mazaron, obviously. Just keep it there in case Bengal Bert hasn't seen it. And or you can get me on Messenger, apparently. And if you still having problems, you can on YouTube on the last page at the bottom somewhere. There actually is one of those email addresses that you can tap. You have to touch that button, and it says, "Oh, you're a robot," and you click it, and then it comes up on my email address. But I would do it on my Instagram account, Bengal Bert. So well done, Bengal Bert. Oh, God. Oh, I can't believe it. Yogi won that. So, let's go back to the comments. Right. So, we got to Deb and we got to Dunk. Accountants, yes, they can answer some other questions. Yes. Well, I think, to be honest, I think once you're settled in Spain, the accountant is your big must, really. Get a good accountant. And I don't know of any accountants because, like anything else, that's going to have to be your personal preference, guys. I don't like doing recommendations of people I don't really know. Um, right. So Mark's got that. Perfect solicitor. Okay. That's good. Right. You've hit over 17,000 subscribers, buddy. Crack. God, you're a bit late. I've had that for yonks, Yogi. But well done for noticing. But you don't walk enough, Sean. It's hard enough getting you out of the bed. How rude is that? You know what? I'm up at 7 in the morning walking that lovely dog of mine. Anyway, or you can get a download that needs repairing. I mean, to be honest, that's another thing. As you get older, I mean, I'll be honest, I can't go on up ladders anymore. I've lost my ability, and it's not because I'm lazy, git. I've just lost my ability to go up ladders. You know, the balance problem. So yeah, you will need to get, you know, like a good builder or a handyman to fix stuff. Thankfully, Jan's pretty good, but obviously, even she can't do some of the jobs now. You need at least a nice bar, a good shop, and a few people around you. I mean, I'm pretty lucky, really. I mean, just across the road in the morning. I haven't been going lately, but I used to have a cup of coffee first for an hour, have a chat. Um, I'm not really a bar person. I don't need to really because we're right opposite them. But the shop's pretty handy. I'll pop in there for some Kit Kats and tea bags. I'm not a drinker anymore. Oh, all right. So Des has got a question now. How are we doing? God, I can't believe how quick the time's gone. Right. So Des is saying, are there firearm laws in Spain similar to the UK, with low-powered rifles available to anyone and firearm certificate required for the more powerful stuff, or do you need a FAC for all types of guns? Right, obviously, I had time to check on that question, Des, because I don't personally know really. But what I will say is you can go into some hardware shops, and I'm talking about R1 here, which Ferretera, I think they call them. You can go in there, and he sells like the pellet guns, and some of those pellet guns look like assault rifles. Now, I know here in Spain, when you go out onto the campo, and that's like the countryside, you see like a square. It's a white and a black sort of triangle thing. And that means you can go on that land and hunt. And usually, I presume there must be like a proper hunting season. I don't go out. It's usually at weekends, usually. I've seen the farmers go out with their kids and that, and they got like a double-barreled shotgun. And some places actually got signs up where they say, "Don't go and walk your dog," for instance. You know, I let Bonnie off, and you obviously wouldn't let your dog off past one of these warning signs. But I still think the gun laws are pretty strict. Obviously, here in Spain, the police wear guns all the time, and you got the military, what I call the military police. They've got proper machine guns. You don't see them that much. Um, and I mean, what I class as a proper police is the Guardia. You don't want to mess with those people. And if you notice, they're quite muscly. But to be honest, the police have been. Anyway, going back to the gun law, I don't really know. I can remember in the UK when I was a lad, I used to go out with my mates and we had a pump action shotgun. Amazing. You know, we could go down the frigging street. I don't know what the laws were, but my mate had a pump action shotgun. I mean, and they weren't sawn off shotguns, they were normal shotguns, single barrel, double barrel. Obviously, it had to be in a case that you could carry on. We used to go into the gun shop in the town of Ringwood, buy all your shells. Expensive, and he used to do like clay pigeon shooting, things like that. And then, after all the shootings that were going on before, especially the Scottish one, and then everything changed, and then everything had to be locked up and get certificates. I might be wrong, I don't think the Spanish gun laws are as strict as the UK, but I'd imagine, you still need obviously locked up and things like that. But that's a good question, that, Des. If I remember, I probably won't. If you put that question down in the comments below the video, I'll try and record that and I'll look that up. But I mean, I've been into some shops and you got pistols and that. I mean, obviously it must be an age limit. Never had a problem, you do hear in the bigger cities sort of thing, some guns going off and that. Not gunning off, but you do hear the odd shooting, but not around here, thankfully. Right. So Jonathan's saying fix. Yeah, that's a bit weird, that, wasn't it, eh? Yeah, well done, Des. Fixed. I can assure you that was not fixed. Look, and they're not all yogis in there. Well done, Bengal Bert. So obviously I haven't seen nothing about Bengal Bert since, so he hasn't been knocked back on. All right, balance is a big problem for me. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll be honest, I keep forgetting, to be honest, when I go out walking sometimes, I should take my stick more with me. Even though I got my hip done, I still need to take my stick, really. Be polite to all police. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've never had a problem with the police. I've been a bit naughty sometimes. I've been driving the car and Bonnie's in the front seat. It's got to be in the back seat, strapped in. And they've always been pretty nice to me. Right. The Guardian police stopped me recently and started talking, but they stopped as we forgot to sleep me first. So, we've got 8 minutes to go. So, I'll probably get another question in. Okay, so here's a good one. I think this would be a good one to finish off with. So, I'll just mark the next one after that. Funny enough, that's going to be Kate. So, Kate, I'll be doing your question next week. So, Glenn, are they going to open the hospital? Are they going to open the hotel? God, opposite the golf club. So, Glenn, I put quite a good reply to that. I said, no, nothing, not a sausage. Shame, really. Yeah, it was a shame. At the moment, nothing, Glenn. There are no rumours of nothing. Usually, when something's going on in Campbellsall, it didn't half shoot around Campbellsall. But with the hotel, nothing. I mean, the only thing that's going on in the hotel at the moment, at the back of the hotel, they're turning it into what I call the eco park. It's where they're dumping all the green waste now. And the way it's going, it's gonna, if they don't sort it soon, and with Spain, with August coming in now, which August is already here, they'll go into their holiday season. Everything shuts down for a whole month. But anyway, at the back of the hotel, it's starting to look a bit of an eyesore. So whoever does take that hotel will not want that on the back of them. But before COVID, it was going to open. And I'll tell you the story, which, it's going to take me up to 11 o'clock. Before COVID, some guy bought it. He's got a chain of hotels. I think it was, he's got a chain of hotels in Tenerife. And he bought the Campus Hotel at a bit of a bargain, really, because it's got loads of debts on it. And obviously, he got it in some sort of auction. He took it on. He went to the council and said, look, I want to get the hotel open as soon as I can so I can make some money. So the council at that period said, yeah, no problem. Don't worry about the licenses, because it's the licenses here that hold things up so much. So they said, don't worry about that. Get on the work. So they started to work on the rooms, getting the main entrance part open, which I've looked through the window. You can see that it tidied all that up. And then COVID hit us within a couple of months. In Spain went in big time. Everything was shut down. And he obviously had other hotels, so he just sort of held back. And then when they started to loosen the restrictions, he then got his guys back in. A new council took over, and they said, "Where's the licenses?" And they said, "Well, we was told." And he said, "No." So they fined him, and he was going to put a lot of money, not only doing up the hotel, but also doing up some of the outside areas, some of the roads, to make it a little bit more attractive. So he said, "Get stuffed then," and he pulled out. Now, since then, there's been a couple of people, as far as I know, that sounds like he did sell it. Somebody else has taken it over. So somebody else does own it, but it ain't going nowhere. But to be quite honest, I think the whole area needs a good hotel. Now, the Condado has been talking about that they're going to build some hotels, but that was a couple of years ago, and they come under a different region. They come under the Alhambra de Murcia, and they're even worse than the Mazaron lot. They've been sitting on it. So that hotel on the Condado ain't going to happen yet. So anybody looking at going into the hotel business, I think you'd be onto a good thing, because on the back of the hotel is a lot of apartments. Because another thing here that's starting to pick up now is old folks' homes. Retirement homes. They're starting to, some of the bigger cities are going into this retirement homes business. And I think that'd be a great opportunity for some rich person from Abu Dhabi, maybe. So, yeah, Glenn, how am I doing? Oh, yeah, Glenn, it's coming up to 11 o'clock. So, Glenn, good question there. No, nothing going on. Unless, Glenn, you won the lottery and you want to spend some of your money, want to give Mandy a nice present, a nice hotel, because it was a lovely hotel when it was open at the beginning. Had a proper spa in there and that. A big gymnasium. Good investment, I must say. So, yeah, that's good. I got loads more questions for next week as well, which is even better. So, guys, well done to Bengal Burt. Yet again, Yogi's managed to win some magnets as well. But Bengal Burt, if you're watching later, because I haven't seen you in that, and Susan said I got 49 likes, which is fantastic. That's a good time to finish. I've got 28 in the house now. So obviously, because they all know I'm going to say adios amigos. So guys, hope you had a good night. That's the main thing. I'll catch you next Sunday at 10 p.m. Spanish time. If you've got any questions, add them below this video. Des, see if you can add that thing about the firearms, because that'd be interesting to check up on that. Everybody's saying, get off the line. Adios, amigos. And Thomas has just put in one there about the Air Parks Mercia at Corvair, only 250 a year. So take note of that. But anyway, I'm going to say adios, amigos. Catch you next week. I've got to find the turn off button now.